How you doing, Earf?
I'm doing great.
I haven't seen you in a while. It's been a while.
No, it's been like, what, a week?
No, it's been more than a week.
Or 2? We did a week before last.
It's been like 3 weeks.
No, week before.
Nah, bro. Last week, it was raining. Mm-hmm. Flood warning.
Yeah.
The week before that.
We filmed.
No, you had an appointment. You had like a dentist appointment or something.
Oh, the dentist. Yeah, I did. So, oh my God.
It's been 3 weeks. It's been like a month since Ashton's been here.
No, literally. I feel like I haven't seen you in forever.
He's been neglecting us, bro.
It's been crazy.
But, he said it was Drinko de Mayo. So,
right. So, drink up.
Yo, wait, do we need to cut that?
He's like, I don't know where I was.
He's like, wait a minute.
I don't know where I was on the night of.
He plead the Cinco. He plead the Cinco.
He plead the Cinco. Aw, you guys.
So what's new with you? What's going on?
So I started a playlist.
Bro.
Already.
Can we really,
I created a playlist and I'm going to plug it.
Can we really get into that?
No, I think we need to as a people.
No, okay, so I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna pull up the playlist right now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give my honest critique.
And we should put a link to it.
Oh, we definitely putting a link to it.
Yeah, definitely putting a link to it because I put it on Apple and Spotify.
Yes.
If I'm hitting the mic too much, please tell me, Ashton, because I keep hitting.
I got you.
Okay.
Okay, so I ain't gonna lie. I first opened this up, and song placement is important in a playlist.
No, for sure.
That's why they put the hottest song in the front.
Right.
I saw 3 Fergie songs, Avril Lavigne. Yeah, exit. This is not for me. But
you did automatically discredit it. I could feel it.
I'm not gonna lie. I did. But when we put that, I did the shuffle test. This is how you know something's good. You hit that shuffle test. Every single song smacks.
Every single song.
And it's my era. I'm claiming the era.
Yeah, as you should.
Because you're younger than me. You can't have it.
No, it was my era as well. How would I know all the songs if it wasn't my era? Because
I was. But you were like in middle school. Like you don't matter.
I was in elementary school. And I was coming home every single day. And whenever did y'all do this? Whenever y'all would get ready for school in the morning, did y'all watch like the MTV and like VH1 music videos? I
wasn't allowed to.
I wasn't either, but I was definitely sneaking and doing it. And then when my mom would come in, I'd put in like CMT, like the country music channel. Like I had to. But then whenever I got home, that's whenever 106 in Park came out. And you could not stop me.
Absolutely. No, we used to, in elementary, we used to go to like this babysitter who would watch us and a bunch of other kids in our neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And every single day, 106 in Park. That's how I learned all the Usher songs. Yeah. This was like in the You Remind Me of a Girl in that era.
Oh, that was a little bit before.
He was just coming like hit after hit after hit.
No, 106 in Park raised me 100%. But it was Rosie and the other guy that had raised me, not the 106 in Park before. Because remember, there were 2 other hosts on 106 in Park, but that was like back in the day.
Yeah, back
whenever
in the day.
Like Aaliyah and R. Kelly
Rosie.
and like all them. Roxy?
Roxy. Okay, Roxy. Terrence J.
Terrence, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was definitely the best 106 in Park era.
I agree.
But if you ask people older than me, like they're gonna say Free. What was the name?
I don't even know.
Free and something.
What was his name? Like Tiger or something like that.
Tigger, yeah.
Tigger and Free. And they gonna say that was, but no, it was Terrence J and Roxy had a run.
Made 106 in Park.
Yes.
Like it was
Even their beef was awesome.
I didn't know they had a beef.
Oh, you don't remember that?
No.
Well, rumor says that it was a fake beef. Because they needed a reason to like go on vacation time.
Oh, okay.
So they pretended like they were taking a break from the show. But it was definitely some sexual tension happening.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, that had to be the only thing.
Yeah, that was
like
definitely
Terrence wanted Roxy and she was not having it.
Or he got it and then they got into it.
Ooh.
But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. Let's talk about this playlist.
No, yes, we have to get back to the playlist.
but like, bro, you got everything on here.
But so whenever we talk about music on this pod, I always say that I don't listen to music. Like, y'all know that. I don't listen. We hardly ever talk about music because I don't listen to music. Because this is what I listen to. This is the era. And they're not making music like this anymore.
Bro, they're really not.
Like Kanye in his heyday, I cannot deny.
Let me tell you, I told Ashton this story in the car. I had no idea we were going to talk about this.
Right.
Okay. Well, first, let me ask you, when were you introduced to Kanye?
I feel like graduation.
Graduation was your introduction?
Yeah.
I can see that because you're a little younger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so from like elementary on up to high school, when we would ride the bus, our bus driver would play 97.9, The Box, every single morning.
Right.
Ashton didn't listen to the radio on the bus. Like, what kind of school did you go to?
I never even rode the bus. Never, not one time. But my mom listened to that whenever she would drop me off for school.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I thought that was like a normal thing. You got to play the radio on the bus. That's why.
I didn't know that you could do that. I didn't know that they were allowed to do that. I mean, maybe your district allowed it. Or maybe your bus driver just did not care. Yeah, maybe she's the bus driver.
I had the same bus driver.
Oh, yeah, that's probably what it was.
For years. So anyway, she played 97.9 The Box. And when I first heard Through the Wire by Kanye, I thought it was, this is just me being young and stupid, I thought it was Snoop Dogg. Because he was like, I took what'd he say? Then for breakfast and insure for dessert. And when he's talking like that, I was like, is this Snoop Dogg?
Right.
But listen. We were in New York on a choir trip. First of all, hey, look, I was a choir boy.
Not too much.
And it was lit, okay?
Of course.
It was lit. We on a choir trip in New York. Okay, this was like 2006. And my homeboy, we were doing some things that you're not supposed to do on a school trip.
Right.
And the next morning, my homeboy thought it would be funny to wake me up at 6 a.m.
Do you see what I'm doing?
You okay?
I'm having a problem. I don't know.
Here, let's get you right.
Okay, please.
So he thought it'd be funny to wake me up with his radio. Now, at the time, we actually had like CD players, and he had like his case of CDs. So he puts it right next to my ear while I'm asleep. It's like 6 a.m., turns it all the way up and presses play on this CD. And I hear, tss, 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 ba-da-da. You know what song that is?
No.
Touch the Sky by Kanye West.
Okay.
I Gotta Testify. And that was like, that moment changed my life.
Forever.
Because I woke up pissed, wanted to fight. Then I was like, yo, what is this song?
Wait, before we fight, before we box.
Before we fight.
I have to know what this is.
What is this? This is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I listened to that song over and over and over until there were scratches on the CD. The kids today, they don't understand.
They don't
even know what that struggle is like.
They don't understand the disc player. I had a little green disc player, right? And I literally remember I had a case of CDs, a little brown like leather case, and I had like all the Soul 70s. Like okay, so as a kid, this was my thing. I don't know about y'all, but I used to watch infomercials, and I would watch infomercials of the music. Like, you remember the music infomercials?
Yeah,
and I would just watch them, and it would play the same song. Where they would talk
about the albums and stuff.
Yeah, and it would just be like song after song after song after song. So I like had bought like the 70s. I had my mom buy me a 70s collection.
You actually bought stuff from infomercial?
100%. I bought a Magic Bullet.
That sounds like privilege.
You don't know what a Magic Bullet? No, 100%. You said what? Yes, I love, dude. Like the little. Now my mom would never buy me like the crayon. Remember the ones? It was like a marker and it had like 4 different colors on it, and you would do it and it'd be like a rainbow. My mom would never buy it for me.
Bro, they had those at the dollar store.
I want to get one now because now that I'm an adult and a easy bake oven. But anyway, not the point. So I had that. I had the Destiny's Child CDs. I had like all the T.I. like before he was a rapist, or like we knew that he was a rapist. Like I had all the good stuff.
Can we not dig up people's past today? Can we just
It's just
stick
sad
on the
because
nostalgia of the music?
Can I just say this though? I was telling you guys in the car that as I'm making this playlist, I so badly, you guys, because this is the ultimate 2000s playlist. I so badly wanted to add Same Girl. And I so badly...
Same girl.
Same girl. Like, oh no, we can't.
Oh my God, that song was great.
And
the intro.
I'm a flirt.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh my
I'm a flirt.
God. I'm a flirt. Like, it was so good.
See?
Why do we have to find out that they're bad people? It's so hard.
I'm not going to say anything about it.
I refrained.
You also still listen to Elvis, so
okay,
I'm going to keep bringing that up.
That's besides the point. And anyways, back to what I was saying. But it's like, I have like, there's so many good people on there. Okay, so what do I have? I have Chris Brown.
Of course.
T.I.
Of course.
Fat Joe.
Of course.
Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Destiny's Child.
Okay, wait. Pause though. because you're naming all the big time superstars that we all know from that. No, you got the one hit wonders on here too. Like you got it all, fam. Like let's name some of the stuff that you got on here that they don't really know.
They don't know about these days.
Let's see. Let me find it. Okay, you definitely put a lot of white stuff on here.
Oh, 100%. But like also, let me add, it is a 300 plus song playlist.
Yeah,
and it's
crazy.
19 hours long. Like,
why we sound like we selling something?
I know.
You ain't making no money off of this.
Absolutely none. And I should. Everybody should send me $1 that listens to this.
Low key. And
then I'll split the profits with you guys.
Unpredictable, Jamie Foxx.
What? Heater.
Let's see. What else you got?
Moneymaker, Ludacris, Heater.
Oh, Sierra. Sierra was running that.
Oh, no, that whole era.
Of course you got a bunch of Lil Wayne. We don't even have to mention Lil Wayne.
No, not at all.
You got Lil Kim. You got
Hello.
Keisha Cole, Let It Go.
Oh my God. That song was so good.
Of course you got Bow Wow. Of course
Missy.
you got Mariah.
Come on.
Pitbull and Lil Jon. Come on, bro.
That was an era.
That was in the era.
That was a run.
They don't know. Like the Pitbull. Okay, wait a minute. The Spanish was on point. Where did that come from?
I don't know. I don't even know what they're saying. But it was so good. That's whenever I thought I was Mexican for a little bit. Because all the Pitbull. How could you not?
You low-key killed that Spanish. I was really surprised.
I want to make a video in my driveway I want to get some zebra skinny jeans and some pink glasses and write on them and do the "You're a jerk." I know.
Cool. I was about to call you Kesha.
Yeah.
Who are
or
you,
whatever.
Kesha?
No, I'm the jerk. I'm the whatever the new boys.
I understand.
New boys.
I know.
New boys.
And they all got that from who? Soulja.
Did.
Big Soulja.
I couldn't even add, you guys, though. I could not even add Soulja Boy Talent, or what was it? I couldn't add it. Like his biggest song.
Crank That?
I couldn't.
Why?
Because it's just like, I've heard it so many times. But then whenever I did hear it, and I remember the dance automatically. Remember the dance? It was like,
of course. Bro.
So good.
That song changed the game.
So good.
You got Yin Yang Twins. You got
Lots
Bubba
of it.
Sparks.
Like
Miss
what?
New
Call
Booty.
it pop, Bubba
Bring
Sparks.
it together. Bring it back to me. You got Project Pat. Bok, bok. Chicky.
Bok, chicky head.
Bro, Chingy. You got, okay, no. This is like probably one of my favorite songs of that era. Me and You, Cassie.
Oh my God. Like, legend.
That's a
Legend.
classic song. You got Young Dro. You didn't even know. First of all, we were listening. That was like one of the last songs we listened to before we started. Shoulder. We both thought that was a T.I. song because I mean it was basically his song.
But remember how T.I. was like so big on the radio?
No, he was
like
was
you
huge.
could not turn the radio and not hear a T.I. song.
But low key. It was always a battle between T.I. and Ludacris. Low key, Ludacris was.
Was it? Was that who he was? Oh, I thought it was more Ludacris and Nelly because I feel like they made the same kind of music.
Yeah, but
Nelly's air. You guys, we don't discuss Nelly enough.
Nelly was the Drake
Nelly.
of that time.
Air Force Ones, Grills, Hot in Here, Batter Up. I'm just naming stuff off the top of my head.
But see, you had
Country Grammar.
So Nelly had that pop hip hop success.
Yes.
Kind of like before him, it was like LL Cool J. Mm-hmm. You know, now
but not as big. Drake. I don't feel like
not as big. You
and
don't
not
think?
As many hits. As Nelly. Nelly has a lot.
Oh, you're saying LL Cool J didn't have as many hits,
right?
If you ask older people, they would say he did.
Okay, maybe older people, but like
in the 80s,
but Nelly's music has it surpasses generations. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
like people younger than me know Nelly songs.
No, he was like one of the first rappers that. So first of all, when they did the crossover with country music. That was like
with Tim McGraw.
What the heck?
Oh my gosh.
Nobody had heard. If you were to talk about that today, they wouldn't really understand it because people cross genres a lot.
Yeah.
Now. But at the time,
but
nobody did
well.
that.
Like Little Nas and Billy Ray Cyrus did it well.
But
they did it well. And you can't deny it.
Nelly's wasn't as gimmicky though.
No.
It was like a legit country song.
And it was
great.
So good.
All in my head, I think about it over. And he didn't sound like a rapper trying to do country.
I agree.
He sounded like
it sounded
Nelly.
Natural.
He still sounded like Nelly, but he sounded like, no, this is a legit country song. It wasn't even a hip hop song.
Kelly Roll.
Bro.
I don't know what's happening today, Trey. I really don't. Like, I love rock music too. So like, I have a lot of rock on there.
Yeah, and it's good stuff. It was stuff that we was definitely,
Panic at the Disco.
Yeah, it was like songs that we couldn't avoid.
Right, exactly.
In all like the teeny bopper movies and all that stuff that was coming out, that's what we heard most of that.
And
music.
if you weren't listening to 97.9, then you were listening to like 104.1, I think it was. I can't remember what the radio station
that was.
was.
Magic. That was like the R&B station.
No, that was 102.
Oh, well, yeah. You're right.
104 was something
like top
else.
40,
or
right?
something, and it was like all pop, but like pop included rap. You know what I mean? Because it was still pop.
It was a little bit of rap.
Yeah.
Mostly pop though.
Webby, Lil Boosie.
Bro.
Like,
you got Webby on? Webby was on there?
Yeah.
I ain't make it that far through the. Yeah, you did.
Like,
you did great on that playlist.
Yeah, I think y'all need, as you're driving back home, I think you need to really get into it.
So can we talk about, first of all, Bow Wow and Soulja Boy are doing the verses. Did you know? You didn't know that?
No.
That's gonna be epic. That's
I'm
epic.
trying to think. I'm trying to line them up in my head. Like, as you said that, I'm trying to line the songs up in my head.
Who you got?
Soulja Boy.
I said the same thing.
Soulja Boy, like,
people sleep on Soulja Boy, bro.
No, he did so much. I didn't
Big
even know that
Soulja.
new song. She make it clap, clap, clap. I didn't know that was his.
And you know what's crazy? He was talking about this on Twitter. He was like, I just made that song and put it out independent, and now I have, record labels hitting me up. Should I keep going independent, or should I revive my career with these record labels?
100% stay independent, because he has. There's no reviving, babes. Like, you're here.
I feel like in the social media era that we're in now, you don't need a record label to revive your career.
No, not at all.
Because they're gonna depend on you to do your own social media stuff anyway.
And he can market himself better than they. I mean, it doesn't need. He doesn't need it.
Just different, bro. He went viral for exposing Drake for copying his style.
Oh yeah,
remember that?
did.
Like, a
Young
record label is
Draco.
not gonna create moments like that.
No.
Soulja can create his own moments.
Like, his literal first album is Soulja Boy. I think even on it says souljaboy.com, or I think that even might be what it's called. Like, he invented the internet. Yes, he invented the internet. MySpace.
Let me give you some nerdy stuff that you probably don't know.
What?
So, this is how Soulja, this is just one way he tricked the system. When LimeWire was popping, he uploaded his music, but named the files, whatever song was hot at the time. So
and
you would
then
see,
you would listen to it, and it'd be
cranked that. So you would hear, you would download Chris Brown, run it, and you play it, and it's Soulja Boy, tell him.
Wow, legend, absolute legend, as he should have.
Genius. Like, he pretty much invented the music ringtone.
Oh yeah,
that was all him.
Okay, wait, what phones did y'all have? Because I had a slide, I think it's what it's called. It was like bright orange, and you would flip it up, and I would be at the radio at the ready to record my ringtone.
Absolutely,
like,
absolutely.
My husband had a what was it called? I remember thinking it was so cool, where it would flip up. It was real skinny, but it would flip. You know what I'm talking about?
The Sidekick? Not Sidekick.
No, I wanted a Razor always.
Everybody wanted a Razor.
He had the one that would like flip up, and it looked like an MP3 player, but it was a phone. I don't remember what it was called.
I don't remember that, but yeah.
But it was iconic.
I know what you're talking about.
I think we need to bring those kind of phones back.
We do.
Because I would use it.
Absolutely. No, I had like this, my phones were whack, bro. I had like this old Nokia flip phone.
Yeah.
It was like silver, and it had like a mirror on the front.
Oh, yeah. No, I definitely had one of those like little Dollar General phones for a while.
Yeah.
And I had a flip phone. I love a good flip phone. You can just be like,
honestly, the livest phone I had before I got an iPhone was the BlackBerry Curve.
Ooh.
That was the best phone I've ever had.
Wealth. You had a BlackBerry.
Well, I got that once I got a job.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. They still had BlackBerries whenever you had a job? I thought they would have had iPhones. What?
First of all, what year did iPhones come out?
Well, iPods came out, when we were in I was in elementary school.
Okay, but iPhones didn't come out
until
I was in college.
Middle? No.
Yeah.
You were not.
What? Can you Google that real quick?
That is not true.
What year did the first iPhone come out?
Yeah.
Was it 2009?
No, it was before. It was 2005 or 6.
There's no way.
For sure.
There's no way.
Unless did the iPod come out before the iPhone?
iPod was definitely out before the iPhone.
Oh, then maybe you
remember
might be
the
right.
iPhone was the whole marketing behind it was it's an iPod but
you
with
can
phone capabilities.
Oh,
iPhone. Look up iPods were way before that.
you might be right. I was young.
Bro, did you know while he's looking for that? Did you know Apple invented podcasts?
Did they? No. Did they?
Yes.
Really?
Podcast. It's a broadcast on your iPod.
The brain.
Steve
They knew
Jobs,
it.
bro. Steve Jobs is a freaking genius.
No, 100%.
But we don't talk about that. But so
No, people definitely talk about him being a genius.
No. We don't talk about the fact that I don't think people know that Apple pretty much
I
came
didn't
up
know
with
that.
podcasts.
I did not know that.
So
What year?
2007.
Okay, so my senior
I
year
said
in high
2005.
school.
You said 2009.
So like by the time the iPhone 3G came out, which is the one that was way more popular, the one that people started getting, then that's probably around 2009, 2010 is probably when I first got an iPhone.
Okay.
Around that time. So, but yeah, I had a BlackBerry. BlackBerry was really popular.
I wanted a BlackBerry and I wanted a Razor. I wanted a hot pink Razor, but my mom had it.
Like the keyboards on a. Honestly, it doesn't like typing on a screen. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
I want to buy an iPod real bad. Like, remember the shuffles?
I never liked the
They had the little
shuffle.
ones, and then they had the nanos. Okay, no, the shuffle were the little ones, right?
The little ones, no screen or anything. You just press
okay,
random.
no, I didn't like the shovel either, but I had a shovel.
It had like a clip. You can clip it on you.
Yes.
The Nano was the skinny one.
That's the one I liked.
I really wanted because this. So I've always been a music junkie, and I really wanted the what was it called? iPod. Was it the iPod Classic? I think it was called Classic.
Was that the big one?
It was the big one.
I could never get that one. It was too expensive.
It was way too expensive.
Yeah,
but that mug looked like wealth.
I remember all the girls
You
in the movie.
you would have that one.
Ashton,
Wealth.
you had that one?
That's privilege.
Oh, look, he know it too.
That boy privilege. That's black privilege right there.
No, for real. And you deserved it, Ashton. You did.
But yeah, I want to. And then like the wheel on it would have like a certain click to it. Bro, you don't. It's like, what is it called? Haptic or like the tactile sensations that you get from that. You can't get that from a screen, bro.
Not at all.
I
be playing Tetris on that. Ooh, almost cursed. I'll be playing Tetris on it. I'll be playing the Ashton, do you remember the game where you would like shoot the cannons? Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Or what was the card game? What was the card game? Solitaire all day.
Definitely Snake. Snake was like it.
I don't think I played Snake.
Well, it was only on Nokia phones for a long time.
Oh, okay.
So you had to have a Nokia to play Snake.
Wow, that's a loser.
You remember when people were like, "Oh, can I play a game on your phone?"
Yes. No, remember having a signature at the bottom of your text message?
Bruh.
What? I'll be like, bad is B, wait. And wait. Literally, I would have it, or I'd change it up every day.
And we definitely, well, it was before emojis, so we would be pretty creative with making
Oh yeah, come on,
faces.
you had to do this with the 3 for a heart.
OMG.
Like, wow, I'm really taking us back there.
I didn't know what that meant for a long time.
Or remember these pictures? Like this right here?
You take pictures. Oh, see, well, you
on
know.
your MySpace, and you'd be like,
okay, yeah, I kind of remember that.
yeah. Oh,
bro, oh my God. my MySpace pictures.
Oh, they're just, I know they were raunchy. Because you had the mohawk. Yeah, take RIP.
But see, I was, okay, again, it's crazy. Me and Ashton were talking about this on the way here. So, two things that changed my life in high school was when I took my mom's old computer that she had a virus on, and I figured out how to take the virus off. This was before YouTube days, so I couldn't just YouTube it. This was like 05. So I got her busted old computer. I put a bootleg version of Fruity Loops on it. That's how I made beats.
Okay.
And then I put a bootleg version of Photoshop on it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so all of my MySpace pictures were like
super saturated.
And, I add different colors to it. I put different logos on it.
I would go on Photo Bucket and saturate
Photo Bucket. I remember Photo Bucket.
I would go to Photo Bucket and put the saturation all the way up. Like,
bro, we swear we were coders.
Oh, we were. And we were. I would change my music every day.
Like,
and then when you came to my page, you'd be like, I chunk up the dude to the and yeah.
You would have
and I had a picture of LL Cool J on there. Like, come on.
You would have that.
Yeah.
Those were.
It only made sense. Those were my serotonin in my body is just like at a maximum level, just talking about it.
The playlist, like the music, is what brought that back. The
and
music
that's
is what
when I
reminded me
fell
of
in
that.
love with music, Trey. That is when I felt like the Gwen Stefani era, the Lil Wayne era, the even the Birdman era. Like it was all of that. Really, like is whenever I fell in love with music. Fergie.
Absolutely. That's what I was saying. Like the story when I was talking about when I first heard "Touch the Sky," I was like, I want to do this.
Yeah.
Like I want to be this.
Yeah.
And that's why you can't tell me nothing about Kanye at this point, because I've been a stan since.
But
then.
I feel like with Kanye, you can stand his old music. It's to the point where you
kinda have
can't
to.
not stand it.
You have to.
You can't not.
Yeah,
You can't make the music not bop.
that's true.
Yeah.
So, well, I mentioned how Apple invented podcasts.
Did.
You know who else invented podcasts? Joe Budden.
I feel like invent is a strong word. A heavy-handed word. Very heavy-handed. But we do have to get into it.
Listen, let me say something, okay?
Oh,
I'm
God.
gonna say this and I'm gonna pass it to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a stan of a lot of people. One person I stan is Kanye, but don't I criticize Kanye?
Very rarely, but you have.
It's because most of the time I agree with him.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But when he does something wrong, I'll speak up on it.
Yeah.
Okay. I always had this thought that all of your heroes will disappoint you one day.
That's a good thought to have.
And so I just always assume that, like, anybody I've ever looked up to, whether they are a celebrity I don't know, whether they're, from a cartoon, or whether they're a real person who's like a legit mentor. And sorry, no offense if you're watching this, but they've all disappointed me at some time. Okay. So, Mr. Joe, we got to talk about this.
Yeah.
Because we're kind of in that space. Even though, we low-key...
At a very micro level, but we are still in that space.
And we really just do it because we like to talk to each other.
Yeah.
We do it for fun. We kicking it. But he definitely paved the way and kind of was giving, like, showing how someone in this culture can do this and be successful at it, and was supposed to be showing us how to do it the right way.
I feel like that is a better way to put it. Like, especially when you're saying, like, in this culture, because I don't know a lot of people that have, like, I cannot name extremely large podcasts in this culture that I enjoy listening to.
Right.
Because whether you think he's an idiot or not, he is fun to listen to.
Yeah.
Like, it's fun to hear, his thoughts and opinions on things. Take him with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? For sure. But I can't name like 5 other poppin' podcasts like the Joe Budden podcast. So to see him Joe it, like he always does, is just so disappointing and so disheartening. Because when we first started this podcast, Trey, like when we were Holy Hooligans podcast,
Yeah.
before this podcast, we were like writers for the Joe Budden
Absolutely.
podcast.
That was like 3 years ago too.
And
So
we
let's
listened and we talked about it
stamp
all the
that.
time.
Like this was like back in the day. 3 years may not sound like a long time, but
It's a long time, especially with 2020. If you're thinking of 2020, just the year 2020,
Right.
2 years before that,
yeah,
we were like,
we were on that.
yeah.
We were definitely on that wave because here's my, and I guess we probably need to put some context on this for those people that don't have absolutely no idea who he is.
Okay, yeah, right.
But I'll explain it like this. So in 2017, I went through a major transformation in my life. That's when I graduated college. That's when Harvey came and took all my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was changing careers. I had quit my job out of nowhere and said, look, I'm gonna just work for myself. I was doing a lot of new
A
things.
lot.
Joe Budden was at the same time. That's when he quit Complex, and when he was making the jokes about being unemployed, really meaning he's working for himself now. I was kind of doing the same thing. Like, yeah, I'm working for myself now. I'm on this grind. So I always saw that as a parallel, like, okay, somebody I can look up to. The difference is, and I have to make this clear, the difference between me and Joe, because you swear I'm the Joe Budden of this podcast.
I don't feel like you have much of a choice.
Ashton, have my back here, bro. Ashton, quiet as hell.
Ashton,
Just quiet as
please
hell.
come to the floor. I am Rory.
He's just shaking his head.
You are Maul, and you are Joe. And it's just the role that you just had to take it on. It's just who you are.
But I'm not a jerk like him, though.
No, you're not a jerk.
Okay,
That's
I'll
what we
take
say.
that.
The good parts of Joe is you.
Because I'm a natural leader.
Yeah.
You know,
Which is fine.
I'm a visionary. So when I see something, I can see, okay, let's put it together, let's do it like this. And that's what I bring here, right?
Yeah.
And that's what he does too. So and again,
and I argue with you. So I'm Rory.
yeah, definitely Rory, and you're half
Ashton
white
gives-
like Rory.
Hello, like come on. It's just it is
Ashton's
what it is.
Mr. Cool.
Totally cool.
He-
Cool as a
this-
cucumber and has very a little bit to say, but whenever he says
when
it, it's impactful.
you know, yeah. So, but my thing is this: Joe is known for setting things on fire
He can't not.
in a good way and in a bad way. He'll set it on fire and make it blaze, and now he has all this attention, and now things are going well, and then he'll set it on fire and destroy it. And I'm not a destroyer.
No,
I feel like what I touch turns to gold.
that was a Joe moment.
Okay, here we
That
go.
was a Joe moment, and that's okay. But the difference between you and Joe is he can't not burn a bridge. I feel like you can. I've seen you burn bridges, but I feel like you don't have to. Like you know your limit. He wants to every time,
Yeah.
and you don't want to every time. You
No.
choose to sometimes, but not every time.
Are you reading me right now?
I'm not trying to. I'm just saying I've seen it in the past just from knowing you.
I only burn bridges that I think would be harmful for me to go back over.
Okay, that's valid. Very valid.
Joe burns bridges with his best friends,
Yeah.
and now he can't go back.
Because his ego is like, boo,
And
like
see, that's
out of this world.
And that's the thing. Like that's a just bigger than Joe. That's a problem with people that are okay. Because one thing I discovered since we started this podcast is I do kind of have an ego. I ain't never really thought because I always try to be humble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think I am. But
No, you are.
But when I'm like in my bag, like I'm supposed to be, like when I'm doing the things I'm supposed to be, like especially lately, I'm starting to realize, hey, you know what? It's okay for me to
Think you're the best.
that I'm good at this.
Yeah.
You know, or think that I'm great at this.
And you
know.
should, because that's confidence.
Yeah.
That's not cocky. That's not egotistical. That's just sheer confidence. Like, hey, I might be the best at this. Honestly, I'm not going to lie to you.
I appreciate
And that's
that.
fine. I think you should feel that way because whenever you are in your element, you are.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that's okay.
So where was I going with that though? I was
How
comparing that
Joe
to
does not. It's
Joe's
way beyond that.
Joe's thing is, I am great at this, and no one else gets credit for anything. And that's the part that's messed up. And so that's the problem. That's what I was getting to. The bigger issue is when someone's ego is too big for them to ever apologize. I don't like that. Like I was just, let me be careful about names. I'm not gonna give any names. Let's say I was allegedly talking to someone who's allegedly their boss, or one of their bosses. They never actually apologize for mistakes. They make mistakes often, which is fine. We're human. But instead of pointing it out, they always just divert the situation. Oh, no, it must have been this, and that.
Deflect.
Always deflecting. And I don't respect that at all.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm a quick apologizer. I'll apologize even if I don't think I'm wrong off the bat. I'll say, well, I could be wrong, so I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah.
And because it doesn't take anything away from me.
Yeah. I'm not one of those people. I
Oh
will
my
not
God.
apologize if I'm not sorry. And that was like one thing like I used to get in trouble for a lot as a kid. Like my mom would be
Yeah.
like, you're gonna be grounded until you apologize. And I'm like, I'm guessing I'm gonna be grounded forever because I'm not sorry.
I can see
like,
that.
you know what I mean? Because it's not genuine if you're not actually sorry.
But see,
But there is some stuff, if you're not sorry for it, then you're wrong. Like if Joe did not come back and apologize for firing Rory on air, which I don't even think that like that episode is up. I can't find it on Apple Podcasts.
no, it wasn't supposed to be. It was up, then they pulled it down, edited it, put it back up, but somebody had already made a bootleg.
I watched the bootleg.
Okay.
I watched it when it first came out, and then like recently I had watched the bootleg because it might still be just on Patreon if they put it. I don't know. I'm not subscribed to their Patreon.
I remember it was like a link that I had to listen to that on. It wasn't an actual
it's not
video.
on YouTube and it's not on Apple Podcasts. If he would not have felt sorry for that and not came back and apologized, he's still wrong, but he would be even more wrong.
Right.
Like, because it was just horrible. That whole episode, it was so phony. Okay, first of all, so
Wait,
basically,
I'm sorry, before you get to that, can we get back to you and your problem with apologizing though?
let's get into it.
Because so here's my thing on that. And I promise we'll get back on this, but you're not just apologizing for what you did, but you're apologizing for how it affected the other person. So even if you don't think you're wrong, if it hurt me, why wouldn't you be apologetic about that?
Because then if I say I'm sorry how that made you feel, that sounds shitty. Because I'm not sorry that I did it. I'm just sorry that it made you feel bad. Like the way that I went about it made you feel bad. That sounds shitty to say. Like, oh, I'm sorry that you feel that way. Basically.
Well, okay.
You know what I mean?
When you say it like that, yeah.
So it's like, maybe I don't apologize immediately. Maybe I'll sit on it for a couple weeks, and then if I feel bad about it, I'll apologize. But like, I just can't.
I think people don't know how to apologize because it's not just saying I'm sorry. Look at you.
I'm like, what is it then? Tell me, please.
I don't think you know how to apologize.
Ooh.
Not that I'm not trying to make myself an expert, but
no.
'cause I definitely had to learn. I had to learn this. Like I didn't apologize as a kid.
I didn't.
My response was always, well, why? Okay, why is that wrong? Mm-hmm. You're gonna have to explain that to me because I don't think it's wrong.
Yeah.
And that's how it was. And I would refuse. I would look at my parents in the face like, no, I'm not sorry about that.
Same.
But what I had to learn was that a real apology is not just I'm sorry. It is, acknowledging what you did wrong and then creating a course of action to change it.
Change the behavior.
So here's the thing: if I'm walking by you and I step on your toe, and it hurts, okay, and then the first thing you said was, "Why'd you step on my toe? You didn't have to do that. Like, why did you do that?" Well, my first reaction is probably going to be, obviously, I didn't do it on purpose.
Right.
So why should I apologize? I didn't do it on purpose.
No. Now, see, I feel like that's something that you should apologize for because it was an accident. Like, I'm sorry.
It was an accident.
I didn't mean to. Yeah.
Okay. So what's the difference in that versus you said something to someone that they took offense to?
Because what if it's true? Like, okay, like for instance, if I tell somebody you live dirty, you live dirty.
Yeah.
And they are offended by that, I don't know what to tell you because you live dirty. That's not, at this point, it's not my problem.
Okay.
Like, I wouldn't just give up that information I wouldn't give up that information
Just to be a
unsolicited.
jerk.
No, just to be a jerk, like unsolicited. But if if they were like, see, tell them Mom, and I'd be like, no, you live dirty. Like, well, and they got their feelings hurt by that.
Funny.
What do you want me to do?
Okay.
Clean up.
So here's my thing with that. First of all, two things can be true at once. It can be both true that was the truth, and it hurt their feelings.
But then change it so it won't hurt your feelings, so I don't have to say it. Or
you can apologize for hurting their feelings and still mean it.
But I wouldn't feel bad for saying that.
You don't have. Apologizing is not about how you feel. It's not about you feeling bad.
I feel like it's
Why do I feel like a counselor right now? No. It's not, because you are not apologizing necessarily for the literal action that you did. You're more so apologizing to make them feel better.
So say, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings.
It's more so, okay, take the I'm sorry out of it. How would you apologize without saying I'm sorry?
I would just change my behavior. I probably wouldn't apologize. I probably would just never say something like that again. In this
moment, I need you to use words. So what words would you use to apologize without saying I'm sorry?
I probably shouldn't have said you live dirty, but you could be a little cleaner.
Okay. Let's fix that. Let's fix that.
How would you say that?
And that's cool. Let's fix it. And see, I'm usually a very cut and dry person. And so most of the time in situations like that, I offend people.
Yeah.
Okay. But when I take a second to think about it, and I step back and I really gauge my words first, then I'm more careful. Okay, so instead of saying, how did you say that?
How did I
shouldn't have said.
I shouldn't have said you live dirty, but you could probably be a little cleaner.
Okay, so what would happen if you switched but for and? Say it again, but don't say but, say and.
I shouldn't have said you live dirty, and you could probably be a little cleaner.
Okay, now you just made two things right at the same time.
That sounds bad, though. I shouldn't have said you live dirty and you could be a little cleaner. Oh, because the but is what takes away.
But because what but actually does, it means forget about everything I just said.
Yeah. No, you're not
now
wrong.
This is
you're not wrong.
taking. So it's like, okay. I'm trying to think of something. Think of something. What's something that that I've done to you that I probably need to apologize for, even if it's small. A small example.
I can't think of anything, honestly. I'm sure you can think of something I did to you, but
honestly, I can't. I'm trying to think of an example. Okay. The stepping on your toes.
Being late all the time.
Okay. All right. Great.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry for. I'm not gonna say I'm sorry. No, I'll say I'm sorry. I'm sorry for yelling at you. I understand it hurt your feelings when I said that you were late and I called you out and you didn't like how that felt. I also would really like for you to be on time.
You just made that so easy. Like that
because
sounded
I practice
so
it
good.
though. I really practice that.
Okay. I need to be better about that.
And it's like changing your but statements for and statements. Because but says, I said all this, but forget about all that.
Did you not say but in that?
I didn't say but. I said I also. I added to it.
Oh.
When you say but, it eliminates everything you just said.
You're right. It does. You're right. You're giving me a course.
And you know what? You can, okay, I didn't realize we are going to have a Dr. Phil moment here, but you can take that into a lot of things. Like when you describe how your day went, today was really stressful and we had some really good moments as well. Two things can be true at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
I think I'm like Joe in that sometimes I 100% agree. And like my husband and my family have really helped me with this because I had a really bad problem with like, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
Because how I would say it would be awful. Mm-hmm. But what I would be saying would be valid. You know what I mean?
And so
instead of saying you live dirty, if somebody said, tell them I don't live dirty. And I said, no, she lived dirty. I could say, you're not the cleanest. You could be a little better. It's not horrible, but you could be better. Or is that sugarcoating it? I don't feel like it is.
I think telling someone you could do better, and it also depends on the relationship. First of all, if you don't have a strong relationship with them, then saying you live dirty is automatically gonna come off as an insult.
Right.
Because you don't know me like that. Why are you talking to me like that?
Yeah.
However, if I know this person, and even if I were to say you could do better, I think they would take that seriously.
Really?
I think so. What you think?
I don't even feel like that's that offensive.
No. Take it seriously. Like, you're right. I probably should. Not take offense to it. It's a better way of saying, no, you dirty.
Yeah.
Is that, no, you could probably improve in that area. And because I have a relationship with you, I'm willing to accept that.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like that's fair. I'm just like, and I hate when people say, I'm not offended by everything, but I'm seriously, it's extremely hard to offend me about myself. Because like, okay, think what you want, I don't care.
Right.
Like, it doesn't mean anything
I'm the same way.
So like, but I understand that other people are like more sensitive. And you should be sensitive to people's feelings if you love them and if you care about them.
Right. Definitely. Yeah.
But Joe is not that way.
He's not that way.
And he literally, like, even whenever he was on his Instagram Live, I don't know if y'all saw it, but like he was on his Instagram Live and he was like, when people were like, why were you going so hard? And he was like, I had a bad day. Excuse me?
And see,
we all have bad days.
I was actually just talking to a friend about this. So, a lot of times, I think I definitely can see this with Joe. We have a natural tendency to judge ourselves based on our intentions, but judge others strictly on their literal behavior. Mm-hmm. And so your intentions to say you live dirty may not be to hurt me, but I'm going to judge it as if well, that's what you did. So who cares about your intentions? This is what you did.
Yeah.
However, when I'm thinking about what I do, what I say, it's like, well, that wasn't my intentions to do that. It's not a fair balance, not a fair judgment. And so whenever you can tell that whenever he says something like, well, I had a bad day, he's talking about his intentions. Like, what I said came off that way because I was having a bad day. And that's understandable. He was dealing with a really high stress, high emotional, thing in real time.
Yeah.
On camera. We've had instances like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So not as drastic though.
No.
But it happens. So I totally understand that. But you got to take responsibility for it.
Yeah. Because there's still consequences that come with that. Like that type of just outrage. Like he literally just rages out, and he does it everywhere he goes. He did it at Complex. He did it at, people forget about State of the Culture. Scotty Beam literally left because of the way that he was screaming at her. Like he does it everywhere he goes.
By the way, Scotty.
Let's give it up one time. Miss Beam.
That is one beautiful woman.
Beautiful. What?
Ashton swear he claims that. Ashton, she don't belong to you, fam.
Not relax.
She don't belong to you.
She doesn't belong to anybody because she is an independent woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but if she did, Ashton's like, but she did know.
Ashton's like, I got dibs. Man, that is one. Anyway.
But he offended Scotty Beam, and then not to mention this whole thing with Olivia Dope. It's a lie. Man. It's a lie. I didn't even watch the podcast that they were talking about that he made her feel uncomfortable because I knew I would feel uncomfortable and feel the secondhand embarrassment and uncomfortability of it.
So the way I watch things, I can tell when certain things are edited. I see all of that. And I knew when watching it, first of all, I could tell by her demeanor, she's not feeling this. Joe's being really weird. And, that was a cut there, and her face is different. Something definitely happened. And I think the problem is, I didn't... Okay, let's give some context. Tell the people what actually happened. Do you know what happened?
So I know that the What It Is podcast. What is it called? See the Thing Is podcast. They were filming an episode. Mm-hmm. And I guess Joe sat in on this episode for what I don't know. But it was with Mandy, Olivia,
and
Dope,
Bridget Kelly.
And he just kept making these references to wanting to sleep with Olivia. And my conspiracy, real quick, because I think Olivia is beautiful. I think she's absolutely beautiful.
Oh my God, absolutely.
But I think that Joe goes out of, or was going, this could be a whole nother topic for a whole nother day, and y'all might disagree with me, and that's fine. But I feel like Joe goes out of his way to try to make it seem like he is a woman empowerer. He wants to empower women, even though I don't believe he actually does. And I think that in that moment, he was going out of his way. The only way that he knows how to compliment dark-skinned women is saying that he wants to sleep with them. In my opinion.
Wow.
When I've watched him communicate with different girls on his podcast, whenever they call him. I can't remember this one girl's name. I think she's a porn star. Beautiful woman, dark-skinned woman. But he's always referencing hinting, implying that they sleep together. They want he wants to sleep with her. He
does that with all of his women friends.
He just can't. But especially the dark-skinned girls, he cannot just compliment them. Even with Scotty, he just can't. He has to do over the top and do the most, because I don't think that he's actually attracted to dark-skinned women. Of course, who could not be attracted to Scotty? Come on. But it's and it was just doing a lot. You don't do that with Mandy. You don't do that with Bridget. You're doing a lot. And for what? Because you want women or people to believe that you are what? What is it?
Context as well. They don't talk. And they just talked about how she never talks to Joe. She never hears from Joe. So that was actually his attempt at talking to her more. Yeah. And the only way to talk to her is make sexual passes at her.
What is wrong with you?
And let's keep it real. Let's talk about what he actually said. He was He didn't say, I want to sleep with you. He didn't even, it wasn't like sexual innuendos where he's just hinting. He said, I want to.
Flat out.
I want to F.
Yeah.
I want to F you. Like,
and she's a little girl at home that can potentially hear this.
Right.
Like, what?
And
no, babes.
Yeah.
It's a no for me. It's a chop for me. And then he was calling her a B? Like, what?
yeah.
I mean, he does that. He calls women that, right, in his show with his guy friends. But to directly call a woman that on her show.
And she's a different type of woman, too.
Yeah, she's not
It'd
that
be different
way.
if you were talking to Mandy. Because Mandy talks very sexual. She's very aggressive. She is that. Olivia is a totally different type of woman.
Right.
And I don't think he's... Because you just talked about how his friend... He has a lot of stripper and porn star friends.
And sex worker friends.
Yeah.
Those are his girlfriends. His friends that are girls are sex workers.
Right.
So, I mean...
they talk like that and it's entertainment to them.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, that helps them.
And
probably.
it might not be how all of them like to be spoken to, because
Right.
just because they're sex workers doesn't mean they like to be talked to crazy.
I think
but he
most
has
of
that
them ham it up
relationship.
on the show. Like, they ham it up.
And he has that relationship with them.
Right.
He does not know
You
her.
don't know this woman, and she doesn't roll like that at all. She's like a super classy,
Yeah.
you know, not that, you know what I mean?
No, I know. But like, okay, there was another lady on Save the Culture that had came on after Remy, I believe, or came on after Scotty. Do you remember her? He would have never talked to her like that. Never. For whatever reason, he would not have talked to her like that.
He did.
Called her a B and told her, I want to F you.
Not as direct as that, but he kind of did, and she shut it down most of the time.
As she should have.
Now she also has a fiance now, but yeah, they're beefing now too, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah,
They are too?
So yeah, I mean, I think the point of this, and I kind of want to get off of this soon.
That's fine.
Okay, but
I do think we need to discuss Rory and Mal before.
oh yeah, we can talk about that. But I think the point of all of this is, you know, there's a lesson to learn here. The lesson is you can't just set fires everywhere that you go. And at some point, you got to deal with your character flaws. He just has some major character flaws. And we all do.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to demonize him at all. Because like I said, I see a...
I don't sexually harass people.
I don't either. But I do some things I'm not supposed to.
We all do.
We all do.
But the lesson is that an egomaniac has absolutely no business running a network, one. And two, the lesson for not Joe is that if you see how somebody treats everybody around them, what makes you think it's not going to be you one day? Because I don't feel bad for Rory and Mal, because y'all saw it. Y'all literally saw it coming.
Well,
Y'all saw it with Nadeska and Act. Y'all saw it with Scotty and Rem.
he would never do that to me.
Right. And it's like, are you nuts?
But well, let's talk about that for a second, okay? And because in that situation, first of all, I feel a little played. Let me start there, because Asha knows, you know this too. I was definitely Team Joe for a lot of that. Because a lot of things that he said made sense. When you think about, take out the fact that it's a podcast. Let's just pretend like it's just any old business, okay? This is a business that, according to Joe started on his own. According to Joe.
According to him, yes.
I started this business and you came on to help me. I pay you really well for helping me. I make the decisions because it's my business. It's my company. You started asking questions about things that you're not privy to because it's not your business. But I still gave you some answers and you weren't happy with those answers. So, the aftermath of that, I don't agree with how he handled it at all. It was super emotional and immature and all that. But all of that leading up to it makes sense. When he talks about, you know, I gave you an opportunity. Look, you can use the footage for whatever you want. You can start your own show, do your own thing. And you never did anything with that. Okay, all of that to me makes sense. It's like,
that
bro,
still makes no sense to me. If me and Ashton,
because
I even asked you if what y'all wanted to do with my Patreon, my $3 a month for Patreon. I asked you guys, what are we gonna do with that? And you literally said, keep it. It's $3 a month.
I mean, that's your thing.
But y'all still help me with my content because I put our content on there. So if I had to split $3 and we get $1 each, that's fine with me because it's still, y'all still help me out with that content. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, well, let's give some context to that so people don't immediately start comparing what we're doing to that.
I mean, no.
Because this is a little different. It's a different setup. So, okay, well, first let me add that Joe was not completely honest when he was explaining that.
Right.
Because because here's my thing. My thought was like, who pays Savon?
I'm
Joe
sure
does.
Joe, yeah.
Who pays Erickson? Who pays all these people?
Joe.
Who has to do? It's coming out of Joe's pocket. It's his business. You are just an employee. The problem is that part wasn't true.
Yeah, they weren't employees.
They weren't employed. They actually had they get a percentage of everything.
Percentage partners. So if I don't know, so again, I'll take it back to me and Ashton and you being Joe, and I hate to put you in that position,
but give context to that though, because this is not my thing though.
No, this podcast is not just specifically your thing.
It's not my thing because we made an agreement that it would be our thing.
And I even tried to make it your thing, and you didn't want it to be your thing. I
didn't want it to be.
And that's totally understandable.
And that's the difference. Right there is the difference between me and Joe. Is because my thing is, well, we're gonna do this together. We're better together. And even if, and let's just keep it a bean, even if I feel like at least right now, okay, I'm doing all of this work, you know.
Which you are doing most of the work.
That's fine because that's part of the sacrifice of starting a business.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. You know what I'm saying? The stakes aren't even that high for us. You know what I'm saying? So,
and we have our different roles. I provide the location and the entertainment. You do a lot of the work, and Ashton helps us create this whole thing and makes our lives a million times easier.
We all put into the bucket.
Yeah.
We all put into the pot. And so if this thing were to grow, as it grows, you know, who knows? We'll see. Then I would like for it to always remain something that we share.
Yeah.
Because that's just something that I desire. Mm-hmm. I want it to be something that we share.
Yeah.
Okay. Of course, things always get tricky when money's involved. And I've always seen that. This is why.
If you're money hungry, I feel like. Because I just don't feel like we're that kind of people.
No, it's not. You don't even have to be money hungry. Like, money always changes things. Always. With people, listen, I've always had a desire. I hope I don't get emotional about this. I'm tired of getting emotional on this podcast. I've always had a desire